What sin is still in your life? It may sound like a stale line from a local pastor, but for many Christians, that question still takes us to certain depths of our souls we'd rather not go to, because it reminds us of the cancerous sin still strangling us with its deep-seated roots. Maybe it's a sin we've tried uprooting ourselves, but gave up when the digging became too difficult. We've learned to deal with it, to hide it, to try and control it, even though it's suffocating us. Judges 2, 1 through 3. Now the angel of the Lord went up from Gilgal to Bochum, and he said, I brought you up from Egypt and brought you into the land that I swore to give to your fathers. I said, I will never break my covenant with you, and you shall make no covenant with the inhabitants of this land. You shall break down their altars. But you have not obeyed my voice. What is this you have done? So now I say, I will not drive them out before you, but they shall become thorns in your sides, and their God shall be a snare for you. After countless years of wandering the wilderness, here was the land promised, a new life for God's chosen, the Israelites. But this promised land was rooted in sin, and God set a charge before the Israelites. Do not mix with tribes of this land, but drive them out. Destroy the altars of their gods. The Lord, who had proven himself at the Red Sea and Jericho's walls, was leading his people forward into a new life. All they had to do was trust and obey. God too went before us and defeated the enemy. Jesus' death and resurrection shattered the shackles of sin, giving us the free gift of new life. But we too were given a charge to let the old pass away, to die to our former selves. And we could. Sin no longer held power over us. Now we could shed its yoke. During the Israelites' conquest of the Promised Land, they began to make compromises. Instead of driving the other tribes out, they made them slaves. They became neighbors with them. Maybe they told themselves, if we can defeat them, then surely we could control them instead. Now ask yourself, did I make compromises when I chose Jesus? Did I uproot all of the sin from my life? Or were there sins that you thought you could control? Israel's disobedience led to Judges chapter 2, the Lord's devastating proclamation to his people. For centuries, they were invaded, overthrown, and eventually exiled. And these were God's chosen. How much different would Israel's story be had they obeyed God and uprooted all of the tribes in the beginning? How much different would your life be if you would have cut out all of the sin when you were a newborn Christian? Has holding on to certain sins helped you, or have they eaten away at you, ruined friendships and relationships? Have they become thorns in your side? It's not too late to uproot that sin. It may be more difficult, but not too late. Jesus' death shattered the yoke of sin. It has no more power over you except the power you give it. How much longer will you let your sin, your vices, be thorns in your side? Will you continue to let yourself be strangled by your deep-rooted sin, or will you believe in the freedom Christ gave you and cut the sin out of your life?